Welcome back once again to the Coach Jason Reuter Show here on the Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Today we're going to be talking with Coach Reuter about the upcoming game with Cleveland High in the region finals tomorrow night, and also take a quick look back since our last show. You've played in the region tournament. Coach, you've had a couple of wins, a blowout over Shelbyville, 72-22, and they're trying to get things back where they were in the past. And then you had a tough one last night against Warren County, a 61-53 win, which put you into the region finals and guarantees you a spot in the sub-state on Saturday based on what you do tomorrow night, which would be Wednesday. But what's your takeaway from those two games? I mean, our first game, everybody got to play. Most everybody scored. Not a whole lot you could say about the Shelbyville game. That's just the way it is sometimes.
Well, I think I think we come out hitting on all cylinders. We shot really well, and Shelbyville, we just had them. You know, we were better in every position. And you know, sometimes I say that. I sit here and go, does that sound like I'm being arrogant? I'm just being honest. We're better in every position. So he could take my team and beat me. I can take his team and give me 6 weeks to work with him, and we still couldn't beat Bradley Barrettes. We were better in every position now. But our kids played really well. We won by 50. I didn't think it'd be that easy. They had a pretty bad record coming in, but they've lost to some really good teams. You know, obviously they lost to Cookeville. They lost to Coffee County 2 times. They lost to Warren County 3 times. There's 5 of their losses. But our kids played really well. The coach Turnham at Shelbyville, he's been a long time coach. I think he knows what he's doing. It's just and we played probably above average, and I think they played below average, and that's what you get. So we move on, and then last night we played a really good team in Warren County, who I think they're in everybody's top 10 4A schools. I don't know if they're in the Associated Press, but
yeah, they're number
8 maybe.
Yeah,
I think they had 7 or 8 losses, but again, 2 to Cookeville, who's in top 5, 2 to Coffee, who was ranked
number 2.
Number 2. We're ranked 3. Is that correct?
No, we're 2. They're 3. I'm sorry, it's backwards.
Okay. Yeah. And then they've, they've got an undersized team a little bit, and we got exposed a little bit in the second half on our rebounding assignments, and we really got embarrassed on the boards, but our kids still won the game by 8 points, and we had a really good first half. We were up 16 at halftime. You know, there's a lot of hours of preparation goes in, not just here. Everybody that's serious about this, they're putting in hours and hours and hours. This job doesn't pay by the hour. You know, if somebody wants to get into coaching and you want to be very good, don't think you're going to punch a clock in and time out, because many nights I'm up till midnight watching film, and we got 1 day to get ready. I went home last night. I didn't get home. I live a mile from here. I got home at 10 o'clock, 9:45. I stayed to the end of the other game, kind of helped clean the hospitality room up a little bit, did some things. I'm sitting around there going, you know, it's 9:45, and I've not even started working towards the day's practice. So kids, I'm proud of them. You know, people talk about what you didn't do. What did we do? We shot the ball pretty good from the foul line. We shot 70% from the foul line. We shot pretty good from the floor. I think we shot over 52% from the field.
Sure did.
The only complaint I have is we gave up too many offensive rebounds, and the word may be out, you know, go to the boards on the Barrettes, but I think we made some assignment blunders that I think I can adjust. And you know, people say you got 1 game to get ready. We asked 50 times last night who you'd rather play, Cleveland or Coffee, Cleveland or Coffee. I just left it neutral. I said I will play whoever it is. I don't have a preference. You've heard it said, hard to beat a good team 3 times. Well, we beat them 3 times. Hard to beat a good team 4 times. We don't know the outcome yet. I've never been on a team that was, or coach or played on a team that was 0-3. I've been on several that were 3-0, and to my recollection, I've been very fortunate. I'm not superstitious, Gary.
I know you're not. Just a little stitious.
I'm going to ask my kids this today. Would you trade records with them? Would you want to be 0-3 or 3-0? Now, we all get the point. We get the analogy. Yeah. You keep rolling dice, you're finally going to roll snake eyes, right? But I'll take our chances. We're at home. We got a few little nicks A few little injuries people may even know about.
But everybody does this time of
Yeah,
year.
probably so. If you're not, you're lucky. You're blessed.
Or you're not playing.
And we talk about all our misfortunes, but for every misfortune that you have in life, you probably got 100 blessings. Mm-hmm. And we're very blessed. We're 30-1. We got support. We got the players. We're in our gym, Jim Smitty Arena. We're playing a team that we're 3-0. I think our girls, when I left them last night in the locker room, we all dispersed to go out and watch the game. Now, they probably went with their friends and eating nachos and drinking a Powerade, and I'm up there trying to really watch it, but I kept getting interrupted. Can I come sit with you at the scores table? Maybe people won't interrupt me, but so we haven't met as a group until we'll meet today at 3:45, and we'll talk about Cleveland, and then we'll go out and we'll watch a little film. We'll go out and practice for about an hour and 15, 20 minutes. Not long. That's stretching, cooling down, everything. Hour and 20 minutes. You don't run your Derby horse real hard the day before the Derby.
Right.
There's a misnomer out there. Like, we only played 7 last night. We could have played a couple more. And that's where you got to keep everybody ready. The girl like a Shemaiah Francis who didn't play, or an Abby White, they've got to have themselves ready. I looked at Abby White last night in the locker room. I said, look, you didn't play 1 second. If I need you Wednesday, will you be ready in front of the whole team? She goes, yes, of course I will. That's what you want. You got to have buy-in. And, I'm looking forward to the opportunity. Look, we may be sitting here and we may lose this game, but you know what? That's why we play the game. If you won every game, then there's no reason to show up if you had a crystal ball. So Cleveland's, they're flying high and they're feeling good, but I think our girls will be ready.
Let me ask you this: if Cleveland played really, really good last night, there's no doubt about it. Probably the best game they've played in a while. If you'd ask Coach Williams, I think he'd even say that. Hey, would you rather play a team you've seen 3 times already? Would you rather see a team that you've not seen all year long? I mean, obviously, you can watch all the film on Cleveland if you want to. It's not going to change a whole lot of what they've done all year because they've been really successful. As a matter of fact, this is the most wins, 27 wins is the most wins they've had since 2007 and 8 season. I went and looked it up last night. That's 15 years ago since they've won this many games. They've not been to a sub-state game since 2010. So this is new territory for Coach Williams and the girls at Cleveland. And then I look on the other side, and you've won 11 region titles, 7 sub-state wins, 7 trips to state, and the list goes on and on. But I wouldn't say you'd spend a whole lot of time watching film of Cleveland. You're probably going to spend more time watching film of your game last night of what we did wrong, even though we won.
I've got Coach Tinsley. Last night, we talked before we left as coaching staff. I got Coach Freeman. He's got an assignment due today before we practice. Coach Tinsley had an assignment. Hers was to break down the Warren County clips. We can't sit down and show them the whole film. It'd take an hour and a half. Rewind it, show it. So she's breaking down some clips on where we messed up on our defensive end. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to give them 10 minutes of that. You got to move on. There's no reason to beat a dead horse. Here's what you did. Now, the good news, I think it's fixable. It ain't like, we're standing around there with our hands like this and they're jumping over us with 7-footers, Gary. So we can fix that. And Cleveland adjusted their zone a little bit last night. They adjusted their defense a little bit, but it's still kind of the same format. They just flattened it out a little bit. And, you're right. Like I was thinking this morning, people say you got 1 day to get ready. We've been getting ready for this since August, October. Fall break, come back. Open gym, weight room. Then you start practicing on November 1st. Then you play. We've been getting ready for this. We've played Cleveland 3 times. Can they throw in something new? Well, sure. Most good coaches have a player or 2 in their back pocket that they hang on until tournament time. But we know them and they know us. My coaches said, well, the good news, we don't have to do as much preparation. Like I said, well, neither do they. So
right, exactly.
You didn't gain anything there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, matter of fact, Coffeywood County would have had to drove home last night, get in bed late, get ready for us today, and drive back down here. Mm-hmm. So I think we'd have had more advantage over Coffee County on preparation. But this game will be fun, and I'm expecting a big crowd. I think somebody said, you think your girls will overlook them that you beat them 3 times? I said, if they do, then this is not the bunch I think I'm coaching. Yeah. This is Bradley Cleveland. They know what's at stake here. This is not an elimination game.
No.
People may not understand it at home. When you get to the region finals, there's 16 teams left. 8 regions in the state. So you're going to have a winner and a runner-up. If you win, you play at home against, we're Region 3, we will play Region 4's runner-up. Pretty sure it will be Stewart's Creek. Blackman is the favorite. The region's at Blackman. Stewart's Creek beat Oakland in overtime last night.
Low scoring game.
I thought Oakland would be in the finals, but I mean, I knew it'd be close. Kind of like saying who would win, Cleveland or Coffee. You didn't know, but I think Coffee was the favorite coming in, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had a player out. You know, they had a freshman who was MVP of the district tournament, I believe, who was not with them. She was home with the flu.
I thought it was about a 50-50 game coming in, being at Bradley. If it had been at Cleveland, I think Cleveland probably would might have been a slight favorite. And Coffee's big, and they didn't play a good game last night. I was here, you know, we saw the game, and they didn't seem to play. Cleveland played about as good as they can play, I think, last night. And
they didn't take a tremendous amount of shots, and if you look at the box score, they only shot 28 field goals. They had some kids hit some shots that normally, and that's what it takes. Like, look, I've been doing this a while. I think I know what it takes. You got to be good. You got to have a little luck. And all it takes is one night where I shoot bad and you shoot a little better, and maybe I'm 10 points better than you. But that night you got me. Look at the NBA playoffs. I know we can't do this in high school, but how many times you see in the NBA finals where a team just goes 4-0?
right. Yeah, not many.
After 15 years, maybe?
Yeah. It's
Maybe.
not very often.
Like it's usually 4-3, 4-2, 4-1. So that's why they play. Well, we can't do that in high school. But
it's one and done.
one and done. And
But thank goodness tomorrow night it's not. Oakland, Stewart's Creek, who's like 28-3 or something like that, is really good record. And Blackman, who seems to be a powerhouse, the Lady Blaze all the time, really good. One of those coming this way to play our loser of the game tomorrow night, Cleveland or Bradley, and then the loser of our game tomorrow night will have to go that way to Murfreesboro area to play.
I'll say this. I've said it could be as much as a 20-point swing. There's been times that they've had, in my coaching career, they've had a team that ended up being, there's 3 times I can remember they've had national champions, USA Today, ESPN. Riverdale once, in my career, Riverdale once, and Blackman twice. And we dodged those teams because we won our region and we got the runner-up coming here. Of course, a lot of times they said that the runner-up coming here was the second best team in the state.
Yeah, I know.
You've heard that.
Oh,
And,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We're 7-4 in those games. This book, this chapter, final chapter, has not been written yet. We're going to play in a sub-state, so we're going to be 8-4, or we're going to be 7-5. But it could be as much as a 20-point swing because you're playing at home. You don't have to travel. Home court's worth a lot, and you're playing the second best team. When you put that formula together, I don't have any problem saying it's a 20-point swing.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's say Blackman beats Stewart's Creek by 10.
Yeah.
And then you're playing at home. There's 20 points. And you just look, when this thing's over with, look at the sub-state night. Look how many home teams win. It's about 85%.
I think that's the toughest game you'll play because you're at the level of competition right there. You know, we lost 3 teams in the top 10 last night. Cookville, Warren County here, Coffee County here, Gallatin went down last night. So there's 3 teams in the final AP Sports Writers, and what do they know, you know? But
yeah, it's kind of,
we sort of look at the ranking and all, and it's all for what it is.
It is some type of barometer, but we've said before, you got people in Memphis and Johnson City and Knoxville and Nashville and Chattanooga voting for teams. You know, I've talked to these few of them. If they got a buddy over in Nashville, they'll call, who's the best team over there? Blackman. Well, okay, I'll vote Blackman number 2. Most papers vote for their hometown team if they've got one in the mix.
Yeah.
So it's Bartlett. What's Bartlett ranked? 5th? 6th?
Yeah, in the top 5.
There's people saying Bartlett may be number 1. I've not seen them.
You got to win it on the court.
I've not seen them. They got a 6'5" center going to North Carolina State, play for Westmore. They've lost about 6 games, but they've also played some nationally ranked teams. So I don't know. I'm not worried too much about that.
Yeah.
We got to win. We talked before the show here. You win 5 more games, you're state champion. You could go 4-1 and be state champion. You could lose Wednesday, win the sub-state, and we got to win 5 more games. But I'm not worried about the 5th game or the 4th game or the 3rd. I'm worried about one game. I'm worried about practice today, what I'm worried about. Let's get out of there. Let's have a healthy practice. Don't get hurt. Let's learn what we got to do. And what else can you do? Like, people worry, sometimes we worry about things we can't control. All we can control is our effort and attitude and our preparation today, and I'm looking forward to practice. And I hope we have a big crowd here. A crowd really means a lot to our kids. I think people underestimate when they get a roar here in Jim Smitty Arena, and I've been in this gym where you couldn't hear yourself talk. And when you get that crowd here and you get that roar going, these kids, I can't help believe they don't step quicker, jump an inch higher.
And adrenaline's
going, and this should be a fun night.
I believe it will. We've had some really, really good crowds this year here at Bradley Central, and we look for a huge one here tomorrow night. It's not do or die night, but it is to win and get a home game this coming Saturday. We're in the Sweet 16 right now. There's only 16 teams left. We'll cut that in half on Saturday, but tomorrow night we determine who's going to play where, and we need you here at Bradley Central High School to support the Bearcats as they take on Cleveland High for the 4th time this season. Let's see if we can get that 4th win and be home for Saturday. Coach, we appreciate you as always, our weekly show here on Jason Reuter Coach's Show. And until next time, we wish the Bears the best of luck. Come out and support them, folks. You can listen on Mix 104.1 on radio if you can't make it. It'll also be on the Bear Network, BCHS.TV, through the NFHS. You have to have a subscription to this in the postseason. Till next time, we'll say so long for now. God bless, and go Bearettes.